just wanna be her, for your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my whole team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah.
Early morning football in the U.S. Hey, it's the coach. This is the NFL International Series on EA Sports. Coming up, it is mid-afternoon in the UK. We've got our fourth and final game in London this year between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll see you again at halftime. But for now, it's time to head across the Atlantic, where we check in with our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you. We are over 4,000 miles away from where you're seated in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England, and Wembley Stadium. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
Let's go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Rush in. Tiger. Here you go.
Here's Foles. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Foles, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Barkevious Mingo, the former number 6 pick.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now Foles. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So here are the Texans under their 6-year head coach, Bill O'Brien. They'll be led out by their Pro Bowl quarterback in 2018, a guy from Clemson in his 3rd year, Deshaun Watson.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
To throw is Watson. He completes this into the hands of Miller. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Going to run the sweep here. This is Hopkins. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
I have no idea what they're putting in the food in the Martin household, but they've developed two terrific offensive linemen. Brother Zach, a perennial all-pro at guard with the Dallas Cowboys, but Nick, no slouch at center for the Houston Texans. He sets the tone for their offensive line. He's the pivot up front.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Set. 19. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 11 yards there, just like last play. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. On second down, here's Fournette. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. Foles. And that will be incomplete.
What you got? Huh? What you got? Huh?
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They're going to try and throw. The catch made by James O'Shaughnessy, the tight end. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Markevious Mingo picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. 2nd and long. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. The Jags with the football to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Switch. 13.
Back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. They'll set up a throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Whitney Merciless, showing no mercy, flies in for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack. They'll drop to throw. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
He's got Fuller. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
On 2nd and 12, Watson. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep for the Jags, D.D. Westbrook. So possession goes over here on the punt.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw now on first down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for them on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
something
well,
else. And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Throwing again on second down. Watson setting up the screen for Miller. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Now it's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. 20, 10, touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it go deep for the end. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. James O'Shaughnessy. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, full half to be played. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon. Thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the...
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. The run on first down gets them a couple up to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Again, it's Miller. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield, and he's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Going deep for Hopkins. It got his man complete. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards.
You had to figure they'd take a shot downfield on 3rd and long, so the old cliche came into mind right away for me. Who wants it more? You always hear about receivers, you hear about their hands, their moves, their speed. How about the positioning and the desire to go get that one out of the air?
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 9, Watson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he finds Stills, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 17-yard line. They go back to the ground now with Miller. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Out of the gun, Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Darren Fells. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very dispatch.
So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And the result, a Houston touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards that time. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. Now back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
He's got his tight end, O'Shaughnessy. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
He'll drop to throw. That's out to his running back, Fournette. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. D.D. Westbrook. His 5th touchdown now on the year. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. And that touchdown drive happened very a close call here. Did the ball cross the plane? I don't know. From the naked eye, this was tough to tell.
Always difficult when there's such a tangle of bodies around. You're just trying to find the ball and make sure just a portion of it crossed the plane of the goal line.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Now Doug Marrone not even hesitating. They're going to go for 2. They'll look to throw again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Watson now to throw. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Taken in at the 22. Welcome back now here in London. It's Jaguar football here as we start the fourth. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. There's Foles. This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. To throw is Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Telvin Smith. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The Jaguars getting set to go. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 41. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And now out comes Houston. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius brings him down. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Max Sharping, the guilty party, 2nd-round pick from Northern Illinois. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Following the penalty, it's high. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
And Stills bringing it in. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that will give them a 12-point lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Here's Nick Foles as he heads back out to work. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure? Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see when they just...
And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off on the corner, Bradley Roby. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Watson throwing quickly to Hopkins. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Foles and the Jags down by 15. 34 seconds to go. They've won 3 in a row, but they've got work to do if they want to get a 4th in a row as they come up on first down. Shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 6 seconds now, 5 seconds. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Houston, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin.
The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper.